exist. $45. Okay, let me pull up my notes. Okay, sort by quality. Okay, the 7C7. Okay, so I have the bosun's mate. Okay, so that one's done. The second mate steward and the fourth mate steward. I'm pretty sure you're the second mate steward. I don't know why you're not highlighted. And I'm pretty sure you're the fourth mate steward. Wait. Bosun's mate, Charles Minor. Okay, so I'm pretty sure because perished. Yeah, you're the guy who got shot behind the wall. So you got shot by the bosun's mate, definitively. I'm pretty sure you're the fourth mate steward, and I'm pretty sure you're the second mate steward, because this is the second. This guy, he's constantly nearby the second mate. So I'm guessing that he is the steward. This guy, I don't actually know what his title is. I was assuming he's the ship's steward because he's wearing the same uniform as all of the other stewards. Although, you could potentially be the ship's steward instead. But, alternatively, you are with the first and third mate, and these are all together. So, first and second mate steward, I'm pretty sure I have those. I just don't know definitively if I have them. The captain's steward, I'm pretty sure I have the captain's steward, because the game all but tells you outright. Or rather, the game basically does tell you outright. Excuse me. Because if I go down here... Wait. No, I'm stupid. This... He says, "What madness is this? 20 years my steward and never a doubt on your sanity." But he's not talking about the guy who died here. He's talking about this guy. Except, this guy doesn't have a fate. He hasn't died or disappeared yet. But I'm fairly confident he is the captain's steward, because the captain just said, "Tie him up," and was referring to him as the captain's steward.
What madness is this? 20 years my steward, and never a doubt on your sanity. Explain yourself. Those are guilty people.
Okay, so second and fourth mate steward. I'm fairly confident in those. The captain's steward, I'm very confident. Okay, so that is chapter 5, part 4. Wait. Chapter 5, Part 4. Oh, right. Okay. And then I have Emily Jackson and Miss Jane Bird, both passengers. Miss Jane Bird, I know for a fact, is alive in Morocco. I just don't know which face to attach the name to. Emily Jackson, I'm pretty sure, is also alive in Morocco. Because there's 4 people that survived the incident of the Obra Dinn. And they are all alive in the same location after the event of this story. And this guy down here, that is Henry Evans, one of the people that survived. And there's 4 people on this boat. So that makes me think that these are the 4 people who survived. There's 2 women on the boat. And Emily Jackson and Miss Jane Bird are the 2 passengers that I have not verified. And those are both feminine names. So, like, I can test both of these, but I don't currently have a way of knowing confidently which one is which. And then this guy, I have, other than his uniform, I have no idea what he could possibly be. Or rather, who he could possibly be. Okay. John Naples, a seaman from Wales. I'm pretty sure I have that. I think that was 7-7. No. Because I'm pretty sure the guy down here that lost his leg was John Naples. Yeah, oh, 5-4. I don't know what I was thinking. I'm pretty sure he's John Naples, because all's fine John, been in worse spots, I think. And then if I go to my notes and I search for John, there's only 2 people with the name of John. John Davies, which I have already confirmed the existence of being someone else. And then there's John Naples. Or Naples. Probably Naples. Hamau Diam, a seaman from Sierra Leone. I have no anything for that name. The only thing I can think of for that guy is maybe like study the like the bed racking some more, try to find some personal artifacts, or maybe some like marking on their body that can be used to identify them. But more realistically, what's going to end up happening is I'm probably just going to find a group of a bunch of people that all share the same seaman quality. And then I'm just going to... Oh. there's 5 people here. One of them isn't confirmed. Let me just put in the name. Oh, hey, look, the game gave me the victory. Which actually...
Hok Seng Lao, you have been found guilty by confession of the murder of Nunzio Pasquale.
Like, maybe it's you? Yeah, but I have no way to know for certain. Monkey.
As captain of this ship, and by the authority of the East India
Chimkin.
Company, and thus the Crown of England.
So, yeah. Hamadam. I got no info on. Zungi Sathi, the ship's steward. Other than that guy sharing a uniform, I don't have anything on that. Martin Perot, or Perrot, third mate. I'm fairly confident that's this guy, because he shares a similar hat style to the second and third and fourth mates. Or rather, the second and fourth and first mates. But he doesn't have a fate, so I can't confirm that. But based on his uniform and his hat, I'm gonna guess he's the third mate. Because the first, second, and fourth mate I have fully confirmed. And then there's just a bunch of top men that have not been confirmed. Leonid Volkov, 9-3. Oh, yeah. Although, you were shot by one of the female passengers. Hmm. So it's really just a bunch of miscellaneous top men, and then a few select people. So... You are the... Okay, rather than just assuming it, is there anyone else that has this same specific uniform? This unknown top man. Because I have... Okay, I don't know why I think this is Nicholas Botterill. Who's Nicholas? Nicholas Botterill. Who do I have marked as Nicholas Botterill? Oh, I guess I just gave you a miscellaneous name. because I don't know for certain. But yeah, there's quite a few top men. These two I know. These three I don't. Unfortunately, I don't have enough. It seemingly don't have enough information to just make a guess and have it work. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. Okay, so a bunch of people went missing in the Doom. You. Miscellaneous Seaman. Or miscellaneous Topman. Four people went missing in the escape. Okay, I'm fairly confident that these two is Emily Jackson and Miss Jane Bird. I don't know which is which, so I'm just going to leave these names slotted in case it might be one of them. Because if this is those two, then I have a 50-50 chance of these being right. And then you, I want to mark you down as the ship's steward. Because you have the steward's uniform. And then you are a miscellaneous top man. That has not been identified. Hey. Probably not the way it was supposed to be done, but it worked. Okay, so I was right about everyone on that boat being a survivor. Although, now I'm curious how you're actually supposed to figure that out. Because that was mild brute forcing. Because, like, I guess I figured out that Jane was on the boat. And I only had 2 passengers left. Okay, I guess I should go ahead and pull up my Steam notes. Steam notes, screenshots. So that I can update my notes. Okay, so 10-3 is Lewis. Lewis Walker. And then 9C1 is Emily Jackson. Both alive in Africa. And then Jane is 9C2. And remove the italicized and underline. Bold it. Okay. That is all of the passengers complete. And also chapter 10. I got the chapter 10 achievement. Miss Jane Bird is the person who's been writing the letters in the credits. So now that I've confirmed Jane's fate, I'm going to see if that changes anything.
All done? We should go.
I'm gonna go refill my water.
Storm's nearly about, so we won't be coming back. If you've still business here, climb up and finish it. Else I'll make to port. Finally. Sit down so you don't fall out.
Oh, I can verify some more stuff now that I know specifically which of the people on the boat shot that one dude.
Oh, goodness. Like this. You know, you should be out here. Right, well, get yourself home then. And tell Martha I said hello.
That storm was different, I think.
Can you believe a letter at this hour? Must be important. I'll be turning in now. Tea's all gone, so you might think about going to bed as well.
I don't think that storm outside... I think that's new. I don't remember that being there. But then again, I wasn't paying super close attention. Unfortunate news, Dr. Evans has passed away, succumbed to his illness, phone not solved. Difficulty... Okay. Same as usual. Okay, so copy 1 to 2. Okay, so I now know who you are. You're Emily Jackson. So you were shot by Emily Jackson. So I now have this fully confirmed. Okay, 9-3. E. Jackson.
Let them go!
Okay, so pretty sure that's correct. Unknown. Pretty sure that's correct. Unknown top man. That's probably correct. Unknown top man. I'm pretty sure this I'm pretty sure that guy is actually Maba, because I was looking up those tattoos, because there's only one top man from New Guinea, which is Maba. I was looking up New Guinea tattoos, and this guy came up in the Google image search. So I'm pretty sure he is Maba. But I'm not going to just brute force guess that based on that spoiler. I'm going to try to see, like, the tattoos are a pretty good hint, but I'm going to try to see if I can find anything else first. Unknown soul. This guy was actually, I don't know if his fate was torn apart by a terrible beast, because the last I saw of him, the beast was grabbing him, which usually means getting torn apart, but I don't know for certain. Excuse me. That's fully complete. Or not game confirmed, but I'm very confident. Maybe you're not the ship's steward. Maybe that's a fake out. And then chapter 10 is done. Actually, now that I know a few more of the top men, I have all of the, well, okay, there's still a big chunk of top men I don't have, but all of the seaman, actually, John Naples is all but confirmed, so Hamao Diam is the only one that's not confirmed. So maybe I can brute force that, well, not brute force that, process of elimination that by coming over here to the hammocks, and because Hamao Diam is number 55. 43, 45, 56, 57, X, 41. Okay, Okay, maybe it's not in this scene. I might have to go to bitter cold.
Эй, наплевать, привязывай.
55.
سيد
So you're Hamao Diam.
سيد الكون كنت بيلو
Although I'm not really seeing any identifying marks. Because your shoes are the same. Your legs are completely boring. I mean, unless they're wanting me to look at, like, shoe size. Like, oh, you have big feet. Actually, 56, 58, 57, and 55. If I pull up my image, because I have an image. Okay, remove layer. Because I have the image here and I've put all of their IDs on here. Actually, I need to. Lewis Walker is 44. Okay, so very top, far left, top man. Okay, so you're Lewis Walker. And ID 44. And then Emily Jackson and Miss Jane Bird. Okay, so Emily Jackson is the older woman. So you. Emily Jackson is 21. And then you are Miss Jane Bird at 22. So Hamao Diam is 55. And this is 58, 57, 55. So this is 55 through 58. But 56 is here, 58 is here, 57 is up here. Okay, so you're 57, 56, 58. You all have that neck thing going on. Like the really loose tie. Because they have collars, but yours is like very definitive. Almost like a midshipman's tie. Drowned by a beast, knifed, and speared. Okay, so no connection. It could be you. Okay, so John Naples. You are all but confirmed. Leonid Volkov's confirmed. Samuel Galligan is all but confirmed. Although because this looks like a strangulation to me. Okay, so part 1 to 3, murder part 2, and then murder part 3. So yeah, everywhere he's been has been next to the second mate, I think. Oh, actually, I should look at his corpse. Right.
You're still breathing? 10-year-old?
I mean, he's not really grabbing his throat, but that definitely looks like it could be strangulation. Oh, no. That is knifed. He was indeed knifed. He was knifed. Okay. Second mate steward knifed by It Bang Xia. That almost looks like it's boiling water. But yeah, that's definitely a knife. Okay. Glad I went to double check that. Samuel Galligan.
What the hell is going on? What do you know about these things? About the chest and your dead friends?
这是什么？归来，全部供出来。
Oh?
是厉害啦！你哋係你及啲人冇過，上得本事啊！
Is that an earring?
Shell? What
Oh,
shell?
that is definitely an earring. Okay. That is definitely an earring. Hey. I didn't figure him out from the earring, unfortunately. Good morning, still exist. We are getting closer and closer to absolute victory. And now I leave the screen paused while I update my notes. Okay, 5-1B. Hamaudyum. Is this look at a clue, do thing, look at a clue kind of game? Yes. If you're familiar with the board game Clue, it's very similar to that. As in... Here, let me find a good example. Basically, the idea is we have a list of 60 people, and we need to figure out their name, how they died, and if they were killed by something, what were they killed by? So we have to go through the ship, and whenever we find a corpse, we're able to go back to the moment of death and see everything around them. So we have to analyze things, put together information, and sometimes just use personal artifacts and stuff. Like, there was one guy who I was able to identify them because they had a tattoo. This guy is constantly by the bosun, which this is the bosun, that's his quality or his rank, basically his job on the ship. And this guy is constantly beside him, so he's the bosun's mate, which I guess is like basically their partner or their subordinate. And sometimes, like this, 4 people all doing the same job with similar is Obra Dinn a what, who, where, when, or a how? Obra Dinn is the name of the boat that we are on. But in terms of gameplay, you don't need to find out where they died because the game gives that to you. But you have to figure out who they are and how they died. And I guess you don't necessarily need to figure out why they died because that's also often given to you. But yeah, you need to figure out who they are, how they died, and if applicable, who killed them. Okay, so Hamao Diam was spiked. And one very critical gameplay mechanic is that uh, information is confirmed by the game in sets of 3. So you can't just brute force a single character. Uh, you have to at least have significant evidence to confirm the other 2. And it's not just every 3 correct things it confirms, it's sets of specific 3 people are linked. I just finished peer ranking Ultra Kill Act 2. Nice. I barely managed Phase 2 S Prime in Sandbox. Oh, okay. Yeah, you said Sandbox. My mind was thinking Sand Mode. But no, those are 2 different things. And then Leonid Volkov. The 3rd Russian has been verified. Okay. So I am now... I'm currently at 51 fates out of 60. How many details can one person have? Copy 1 to 2. Well, that depends on what you mean by details. In terms of the in-game passenger registry, there's the name, the quality, which is basically their rank, their origin, and their fate. It's up to us to figure out their fate. But in terms of like just miscellaneous details, you can have uniform, you can have like personal tattoos, personal equipment, family ties. There's been a couple people where I figured out who they were because they were referenced to being the brother of someone else. So then I looked at the family names and I noticed 2 people had the same family name. And then there's one person that the cook of the boat. So far there's only been like 2 hints as to who they were. One of them was just them stating that they could cook up a nice meal. And then another scene they were holding a pair of forceps, I think. Not forceps. No, definitely not forceps. Like a two-pronged fork, which I think is used in making steaks and stuff. So far left, I have the third mate. I have Martin Perro, the third mate. Zungi Sathi, the ship's steward. Philip Dahl, the captain's steward. Although Philip Dahl and Martin Perro, I'm pretty sure I know who they are. Like, I'm fairly confident this is Martin Perro because there's the first, second, third, and fourth mate. First, second, and fourth I have verified. So, and this guy has a very similar hat and uniform style. So I'm guessing he's the third mate. But because they haven't died or gone missing yet, I'm not allowed to input a fate for them because I don't have sufficient evidence. But I'm fairly certain they are the third mate. Uh, and then there's Zungi Sathi, Philip Dahl, the ship steward, and then the captain steward. And Philip Dahl, I'm fairly confident, is the captain steward because the game, I think it actually just tells you that's the captain steward. Because the captain is talking to someone and says 20 years my steward and not a question on your sanity. So that I assume that means the captain's steward as opposed to the ship's steward. But are the details for each fate randomized? I given how story focused and specifically built this game is, I would be very surprised if it would be possible to build a randomizer for this kind of game. Because like a lot of the information is hard encoded into the character models themselves. So I do not think any of this is randomized. Because this is a deduction based game with like very explicit clues and paths leading between characters. Davy James, the fourth mate steward, I'm pretty sure is this guy. I don't have confirmation, but he's wearing the same uniform as all the other stewards. This guy also has that same uniform, so I think he might be the ship's steward. So I should just leave that marked in there, just in case it's correct. Because a randomized deduction game would take a lot of code. It would go hard for detective gamers. If you could manage to make that and like actually have it have a logical consistency and continuity, that would be really cool. Although, given that the best kinds of puzzles are ones that are specifically designed, it might be possible to make a randomized deduction puzzle game, but I imagine it would be very hard to make a randomized puzzle game, deduction game, that is as satisfying as one that was specifically built. You might have to make it a lot simpler and like maybe even in a completely different format. Because the way that Obra Dinn works is you have a preset map and you have to find the information. You have to find the connections. Okay, and then I have a bunch of different people with the top man ranking, quality rather, which is all of these people because they're called top man because they're the people who climb up in the rigging on the sails and all the ropes. I have John Naples, which is the final seaman, which I have all of the information on them. The game just hasn't verified it just yet. Okay. I'm pretty sure this guy is Maba from New Guinea, because for one, I was looking up New Guinea style tattoos, and some of them are similar to what he's got going on. But also I was looking at the tattoos, and this guy's image showed up in Google image search, so that's close to confirmation. Although I didn't fully look at it, so that could just be someone talking about it being maybe him. But some of the images do look similar to what he's got going on, although most of them don't. But that could just be this is his particular style of tattoo, and it's just, oh, we have a lot of tattoos over there. The tattoos are a very dominant part of his person. So and this seems to be a very dominant part. Well, I guess I searched for New Guinea tattoos, so of course that's going to be a dominant search result. I'm going to put that in because even excluding the spoiler, it does seem likely. And then there's only so many top men that these other guys could be. Martin Perro. Okay, I can't determine your fate. Alive in Africa. Captain Stewart, fate is unknown. That's all the information I have. Yeah, so I think I have to get like 2 or more of these correct in order for the game to verify it. But that's 40 through 43. And one of the big things is these tags on these hammocks. They correlate directly to the tags correlate directly to the passenger registry. So like 39, that's Jai Zhang, but you can't select people in here. You have to go find them in another scene. So this guy has unique white shoes, so I was able to find him. This guy has unique shoes with an open top, so I was able to find him. 40, 41. Except these guys all seem the same. Because they don't got much showing. $59. Okay, I've already got you confirmed. And this guy has a tattoo on his arm, so I was able to find that. But yeah, unless I'm missing something, I'm not getting, like, any details from this. Like, they just don't have a lot of things visible for me to look at. Like, unless it's going, like, really niche and it wants me to look at, like, fucking shoe size. But given how limited this game's art style is... Actually... Your shoe's looking kinda funky. Because that slopes down and then kind of up a little bit. That... That's a particularly funky looking shoe. It has like a weird bump in the middle. And that would be your right foot. And then the place that I go in order to verify this is over here. Because this scene has a lot of the top men all in one place. Is that a funky shoe? No. No, you're confirmed. You're confirmed. Who's the guy that's not confirmed? You... No, that... It could be you. Although, there is only 3 of these left, so I could definitely just brute force.
What is it?
Yep. Definitely can just brute force that. And it looks like I might only have one more set. 1 or 2 more sets before I'm done. Okay, update my notes. Li Hong. It's 4-1. Nicholas Botterill is 6-2. Yeah, if the game didn't have the mechanic to verify information, I would not be as far along as I am because there has been a lot, not a lot, but there's been a few instances where the only information I had to go off of was I knew what their quality was, like I knew what their job was, and then I just went through the entire list and I just happened to have the other two already solved. Okay. Although, now that I'm this low, I can definitely just fill out the last guy, wherever they are. You. Yeah, because there's only a single top man left. Okay. That was a nice red herring. Oh, two more fates correct? Oh, interesting. That was a fake out. Okay, well, if you're the fourth mate steward, then that means you would be the ship's steward. That was an interesting fake out, having the fourth mate be placed away from the other three. The fourth mate's steward being placed away from the other three stewards. Davy, James. That would be 9C3. And then Whaley. The Doom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe that would be 5. Yes. Torn apart by a beast. If this were done realistically, this thing would show up in the History Channel sometime in the future. Oh, like the event of the ship. Yeah, I could see that happening. I thought you were about to say if this were done realistically, the game wouldn't confirm any information, so you just have to actually figure everything out and then test it by going through the credits sequence. Okay, Wei Li, torn apart by beast. Okay, so I have the third mate left, the ship steward, the captain steward, and then John Naples. So that's 4 people. And bargain is 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. I'm sorry? 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 scenes in the bargain. 1, 2, 3, 4. But there's 4 fates left. 4 people left. That's interesting. Oh. Oh, but if there is someone who is not part of the crew, they don't show up here. So that means someone who's not part of the crew appears in the bargain. Which, my first immediate guess is, oh, it's myself. I'm the last person. Wait. This chapter will remain unknown until you leave the ship and return the book to me. Okay, that's the same, I think. Although this looks like I have one more left that I actually can verify. Okay, so Martin Perro. You're unknown. Ship's steward. Captain's steward. And then John Naples. I'm pretty sure this is correct. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have everything else correct. So I'm gonna... I will leave and see if the credits have updated. Actually... the first thing that I'm going to do is copy my fates, my save file. Because after you go through the credits, your save file gets updated with a continue button. Not the credit. So after I talk to this guy, it'll put me through a sequence where it will give me a high score based on how accurately I have deduced the correct information. And then it will give me a letter from one of the characters talking about like how well I filled out the book. And then your save file will get updated. Do fates get harder or easier to find the more solved? The devs actually did a pretty good job of balancing this, because I was anticipating it to be exponentially easier, because the more people you solve, the fewer options you have available. But due to the system where characters are confirmed in sets of 3, they can make it like they can kind of route you in a way, kind of, so that it doesn't matter if, like, near the end, I ended up with like 5 top men left, and a couple of them needed to be verified at the same time. So I couldn't just brute force them one at a time. I had to, at the very least, like, know some of them. So some of the things get easier, especially like when you get down to like a single person in a specific job title. And then it's like, oh, okay, there's this group of 5 people. One of them I don't have verified. I know who you are. But after I talk to this guy, I'm going to receive a letter. When I get that letter, the game saves. And then there's this... the graph for difficulty over time wouldn't be like e to the x, but more like log to the x. I'm not super familiar with logarithm, so I'm going to give that a solid maybe. But after I get the letter, there's this continue button that brings me back to the letter. And then there's a rewind button. Rewind back onto the ship, no progress will be lost. This is very interesting to me, because there is no progress between getting off of the ship and getting to the letter. So that makes me think, at some point, rewinding will lose progress.
should go. Storm's nearly about, so we won't
But
be coming
also, one
back.
moment.
Still business here. Climb up and finish it. Else I'll make to port.
Also, another thing that makes it not get exponentially easier is even if you figure out who someone is, because there's only like 5 options left, there's always the full list of how they could die. So if you haven't figured that out, this is not getting brute forced, because you have to choose how they die, and then a lot of these also let you choose who killed them. And it doesn't matter if you figured out the identity of everyone, there's always going to be the full list of who killed the person.
Finally. Sit down so you don't fall out.
I'm remembering math right now to study while procrastinating. Unwell right now. Well, I hope you get better. Test in a few days. Nice. For me, I find that math is really fun if someone else is not making me do it. Like, if I'm just doing math for my own projects, it's an absolute blast. Okay. So, ship, cargo for the company, and cargo for the crown. Wait, no, I don't think this is true. All cargo lost? No, that's not true. We still have the ship. We still have all the cannons and a lot of stuff. Wait, sunk in storm. Like, what grade in school did math start becoming unfun? It's not necessarily a specific grade. It's more so just how my brain works. Like, it's like reading. Like, I don't read anymore, but like, as I was growing up, reading was really fun until you made me do it. Math is really fun until you make me do it. If I'm doing it for my own interests, I'm going to have a great time. But if I have to do it, it's going to be an absolute grind. It's going to be an absolute struggle. Sunken Storm, Fallmouth. That's interesting. It says the ship sunk, but I just did a bunch of detective work on the ship. And all cargo lost. That's also false. Mental inertial phenomenon? Yeah, that makes sense. I imagine it has something to do with ADHD or some other neurodivergency. And then... Wait, criminal findings? Murder of crewmate? No. That was self-defense. Okay. Theft of cargo. Yeah, because they were stealing a super shiny magic shell. Exceptional performance duties? £29,320 is my... I imagine this is a scoring system of some kind. So that's my current high score. The music in this game is amazing. You know, realizing that I almost 30,000 pounds for solving 60 fates. Yeah. It might actually be exactly 30,000 once you get the full list. That would be a nice rounded number to cap it on.
Oh, goodness. What night is it? You know, you shouldn't be out in it then. Right, well, get yourself home.
No, realizing that I probably should have started the poll for the next game earlier, given how close to the end I was.
Can you believe a letter at this hour?
Guess I'll just have a few days of playing whatever I want.
I'll be turning in now. Tea's all gone, so you might think about going to bed as well.
I write to you with the unfortunate news that Dr. Evans has passed away. He succumbed to his illness shortly after receiving your package. The book was not fully solved. Appreciation of your attempt. Difficulty of task. Only 3 remain now. We are content with our situation and request no further. Of course, that's the same. That's the same as it's always been. Maybe I have one of my. Maybe I need one final assumption. Or not assumption, deduction. Because there. Are you into difficult? Throw your face at the wall until you succeed. Well, if you'll look at my last Ultra Kill stream, I think you'll get your answer. If I'm interested in something, it doesn't really matter how many attempts it takes. I'm gonna have a good time. Okay, so the last one that I solved was in 2. So it was 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2. I'm guessing there's going to be one more that I need to get, and then I will be able to go back and unlock the Lazarine. But I like difficulty that's like design, like actual difficulty, not bullshit. Haha, I'm gonna be super dumb, and I'm just gonna screw over the player. Like I like difficulty that I can actually learn and like get better at. Okay. The crew. So one of these, presumably, the third mate is almost certainly accurate. Zangi Sathi. Okay, so you... Okay, well, I definitely know your fate. So I can just go down the list. Where was John Naples? Recommend a couple games. Geometry Dash isn't really my cup of tea. Well, I haven't played it all that much, but I don't like losing all of my progress for making a single mistake. That's not fun to me. But Celeste, I also have Celeste. I've made it to the 3rd location, the library, the last time I played. But I haven't gone further than that. Chikori, from that description, does sound very interesting. Has traditional platformer mode now? By traditional platformer mode, do you mean it's not an auto runner? And also the community stuff is kind of irrelevant for me. I don't mess with community stuff until after I have done everything in the base game. WASD controls, yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. This is very odd. Because I am incredibly confident in my understanding of... Not understanding. I'm very confident that I have these last four correct. John Davies, the third... I'm sorry, Martin Perrow, the third mate. They have a similar hat and uniform to the first, second, and fourth mate. And they are standing with the first and fourth mate, I think. Zungi Sathi is wearing the steward's uniform. And Philip Dahl was explicitly said to be the captain's steward. But even if I have the names wrong, this guy and this guy, I'm not allowed to put a fate in for. So, this guy and this guy are the only two people left that I could potentially verify. So maybe I have one of their deaths wrong. Oh, and also, uh, in my work in progress Discord, I actually have a channel specifically for putting in game requests, just so those can be archived and cataloged easier. In case you would want to put those there.
Someone shoot the damn thing!
Just because I don't trust myself to remember all of the suggestions. Okay, that guy shot the beast, and the bullet went through, hitting this guy. So he was originally spiked. But the spike wasn't what did them in. And that guy, I'm pretty sure, is the bosun's mate. I think that's my least favorite of the memory scenes. Just because to leave the memory scene, you have to go all the way down the hallway, and then it teleports you back, and then you have to go all the way down the hallway again. And I'm pretty sure this is the guy who shot him. Charles Minor, the bosun's mate. Because that's the only guy who has who is like wearing that kind of clothing. Door. Door. Because if I... Okay, I need to go to Soldiers of the Sea. Let's go earlier. Okay, part 1 and 2 is up on top. Actually, let's go to... Okay, part 7, so this is part 6. So this would be immediately before they got shot. $60 people times 12 jobs times 6 origins times 1,000 possible fate combos equals a few million total possible combinations for everyone's fate. Actually, let's go ahead and if we, okay, so 60 people, okay, sort by quality, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. There's 28 jobs. So equals 60 times 28 times origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. There's 17 jobs. So excluding the fates, we're at 28,560. But fates are a little more complicated. Because most of the fates give you a third slot for you to choose what killed them. But, like, if you just put, like, drowned. Oh, wait. Some of these... Spiked. Like, spiked, there isn't a third option for this. So, spiked is just a single variable. But strangled by something. And then also, some of these have, like, multiple... Like, struck has 3 different things. And then suicide has 4. There's who, what killed, how killed, and optional why killed. There is no why killed. I do not believe there's a why killed. But yeah, it does appear that there's who, what, or alternatively how. But then sometimes the how, I guess it's the how they were killed is either a, okay, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So there's 25 different types of deaths. Some of them is just, it is what it is. Some of them allows you to choose from one of the 60 people. And then some of them is just, there is a preset, like, oh, there's these 3 options. But then, like, shot, there's arrow, cannon, gun, and then you still get to choose one of the 60 people. So that's definitely calculable, but it would be annoying. And rather, it would take some time.
I've got you.
Given all options that say death description, we could assume 100. Well, if we're just going to use the basic... Hang on. If we're just going to use the basic default method of death, the vast majority of them seem to be killed by this. This was how they were killed, by this person. So, what number did I say? Like 25? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 plus 9. That's 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So let's say, ignoring all the variants, let's say there's 25 methods of death. You choose a method, and then you choose a person. That would be 25 to the 60 for methods of death, which is 7.52 times 10 to the 83. Or wait, would that be 25 to the 60? Because there's 25 options, and each of those options has 60 sub-options. So no, it would just be... No, it would just be 25 times 60, not to the 60. So that's 1,500. So if we assume that... If we just use the standard for the deaths, that's 1,500 death combinations. So plugging that into the previous thing, that would be... Oh my goodness, format, number. That would be 42,840,000 possible inputs for a single character. No, wait. 42,840,000 inputs for the entire ledger. So that's how many things you would have to go through in order to brute force the entire game. Although, currently there's still 2 people with a fate that I'm not allowed to input, so you could lower that slightly by going from 60 to 58, which brings it from 42 million to 41.4 million. Or rather, 42.8 to 41.4. So you remove 1.4 million by removing 2 people. $714,000 combinations for a single person. But if we remove the like method of death combinations and we just you choose how they die, that's still 714,000 for the entire ledger. Okay, so this guy is currently crawling away. The guy who shot him is not here yet. So yeah, moral of the story is this is a combination lock you're not going to just brute force. At least not in its entirety. Oh, and on top of how many different combinations there are per person, before the game will verify any information, you have to get 3 specific characters fully correct. So I guess you would take that number and then multiply it by how many different possible combinations of 3 exist in 60. Yeah, Charles Minor. And he was definitely killed by Charles Minor, because nobody else has that kind of, like, attire. That kind of clothing. Maybe it's you? Could a crypto mining complex or supercomputer even achieve that? Give it... It's 714,000 combinations on the low end, and 42.84 million on the high end. And accounting for the seemingly arbitrary sets of 3 trilogies, I don't even know, like, would that be multiply... Okay. How many sets of 3 are in 60? How many how many permutations of 3 are in 60? No, it would be combinations, not permutations. So would that just be 60 divided by 3? No, because it's definitely not 20. 60 to the third? Or would it be 3 to the 60? Maybe. Because there's 60 unique values, and you need every possible sets of 3. How many combinations calculator? Combinations calculator. Number of objects, 60. A sample size of 3. Okay, 34,220 different character combinations. Do 60 C3? Yeah, except I didn't know C was a function. I wasn't aware of that, so I just looked up a calculator. Okay, so putting that into a calculator returns 34,220 combinations. So if we take the original formula, which is which is 60 people times 28 jobs times 17 origins times 25 times 60 for number of fates times 34,220 for the total number of sets of 3, we get 1,000, million, billion, 1.465 trillion. And that's... Actually, the number would be smaller. The actual number would be smaller than that, because we're assuming every single fate is method and then one of 60 people. Sometimes it's just method. Sometimes it's just method and then one of like 3 or 5. I think the only one that goes beyond method and then 60 is shot, because then it's 1 to the 3 to the 60. But yeah, 1.46 trillion possible permutation combinations to test. So I don't know how fast modern supercomputers are, but given that one calculation a second for 1 billion is 33 odd years. Equals this divided by 1,000. So let's assume this is performing one test every millisecond. Every millisecond equals this divided by 60 divided by 60 divided by 24 divided by 365. Assuming it does one calculation every millisecond, or rather one combination every millisecond, it would take 46.48 years. Because that's the number in seconds divided by 60 for minutes, divided by 60 for hours, divided by 24 for days, divided by 365 for... Yes, yeah. 46.48 years to brute force this game running at 1 combination per millisecond. Although modern computers can probably do more than 1 per millisecond. Computers have done 100 trillion digits of pi over a couple months. Yeah. And that was calculating the digits of pi. Like, they still needed to actually do the math. This would just be... Actually, in terms of just testing every combination, as in, like, put them in order, it's probably feasible in, like, those kinds of time frame. However, if you were actually trying to brute force the game, then you would have to wait for the game to respond to the attempt to put in the data. Which I guarantee the game is running slower than whatever supercomputer is macroing it. I mean, unless you overclock the entire system process. Okay, you have a... Okay, Nathan Peters. I'm gonna screenshot you. But yeah, that's one thing that I like about these kinds of games, is you can remove the possibility of the player brute forcing stuff by simply just adding more variables. Because there's been a few of the fates that I haven't used, and I guarantee that's intentional, just including a bunch of red herrings that don't exist, just to bump up the number of permutations. Okay, were you Nathan Peters instead? No.
Secure the hole.
Someone shoot the damn thing!
Yeah, that bullet is definitely coming from you. And you're definitely the bosun's mate. Okay, well, you were definitely killed by the bosun's mate. And I'm, like, really confident that I have the names correct. And the methods of death correct. Water. Because there's 4 people left. 2 of them don't have a fate because they have not died or disappeared yet. 2 of them do have a fate that I can input. That guy behind that wall, I'm like incredibly confident in all of their information. And then this guy,
Keep pressure here.
Knock him down. What madness is this? 20 years my steward and never.
you are either the ship's steward or more likely the captain's steward. You are definitely the other steward.
Sanity. Explain yourself. Those are ghastly beasts carrying a curse. Blow them back. Your doom is all. Tie him up and put him in the lazaret with those things. Keep yet.
Yeah, he's in the lazaret.
All's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think.
All's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think. So, very explicitly, John. And this is a 1-star difficulty, meaning the name is very easy to guess. And I only have a single John left, so that has to be him. And his leg is gone, so clearly he was torn apart by a terrible beast. I wonder how the science community would react if, like, just at some point in the future, the computer actually just goes, okay, this is the last digit. There's no more pi. We found the number. The full number. Go do something else now. I think that would be really funny. Yeah, you're the... Clearly I have something wrong. No. Oh. Wait. And never a doubt on your sanity. Those only godlike beasts carry a curse. You, Philip Dahl. You weren't torn apart by a beast. You had your leg cut off. By Philip. Hey! All currently solvable fates correct. Oh. Nothing left to do on the Obra Dinn. Okay. Okay, so I can update my notes. John Naples, torn apart by Philip Dahl. F. Dahl. And then Zungi. That is 6-7. Okay, Charles Minor. Shotgun C minor. A. That last one, that was a good one. Okay, so nothing left to do on the ship. Time to go get the information on how to get into the Lazarete. Although, one thing that's interesting, crew, 1, 2. There's 2 people left with an unknown fate. But the bargain has 5 pages. So that makes it look to me that there's going to be 3 people in the bargain that aren't part of the crew. And I'm guessing one of them is going to be myself.
We should go. Storm's nearly about, so we won't be coming back.
Oh? Oh. He doesn't have the line about if you have anything left to do, get on the ship. Interesting. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Windows Microsoft Security. I appreciate you doing your job. Okay. 23 hours, 3 minutes. Can I do everything in less than 1 day?
We should go. Storm's nearly about, so we won't be coming
Probably
back.
not. Because I have a bunch of cutscenes to go through. Oh, actually also,
Finally.
because I also did a bunch of stuff on a different save file. So I'm already over 1 day. Ship. Where's Doll? Philip Dahl. Criminal findings, murder of crewmate. Failure to perform duties. The pocket watch remains in your possession. That could be an interesting setup for a sequel.
package at this hour?
Package?
Oh, the thing smells just dreadful. Better you don't open it inside. I'll be turning in now.
It's
Tea's
a
in the
dead
kitchen
body.
if you need more.
Tea's in the kitchen if you need more. Interesting. Okay, so previously the tea was running out. Like the tea was out. Wait. I can't recall if it said 1 year later. It's a dead body. Chief Inspector, I write to you with the unfortunate news that Dr. Evans has passed away. Ooh, before I finish reading, I'm gonna call it now. He said that we won't be able to get into the lazarette until we until we return the book. I'm guessing that it smells awful. I'm guessing it's going to be Evan's head. We're going to use the pocket watch on it to his moment of death, and he's standing in front of a passcode or something. That's my prediction. With the unfortunate news that Dr. Evans has passed away, he succumbed to his illness shortly after receiving your package. He was very pleased with your correspondence and asked that his gratitude be expressed by returning the book to you, along with the means to complete it. As for the three of us that remain, the Obra Dinn is a distant memory and a dreadful chapter in our lives that we wish to forget. Do not write back. This tale belongs to you now. Please finish it. Okay. Yep. Wait, is that a monkey's paw? Okay, no, I needed to pull out the...
There you are. Collect your things. Where's the key? To that door. Gone. There's no time. We need to go. Right. Here you go. What are you up to? Nothing good.
It is a monkey's paw. Okay, so you got spiked. Okay, so you got something or other. And you got spiked. Okay. Oh, it's been a while since I saw this. Return of the Obra Dinn. Bargain. Monkey paw? Monkey paw. A friendly but not entirely pleasant monkey companion was sacrificed in the pursuit of knowledge. Okay, that's Henry. And Paul Moss, okay.
A third shell. Captain didn't toss them all. Leave it. Help me lift this.
Oh, they wanted to sell those shells.
Stop! Why? Well, set you free. Give it the shell. Eh? Do it. Hoist it out. To the main deck. Throw it over.
door when you leave.
Get the tail, boy.
You return. The ship. The Obra Dinn. See it home.
Okay. So you definitely got spiked. I can't leave. Okay, they're giving the shell back. He was spiked. A third shell. Interesting. Oh. You can't even see that corpse without the bucket watch glow.
I'll kill every last one of you monsters. Withdraw the Kraken, or I will kill you all!
Little baggie. These shells are definitely magic because they're the only things that move in these memories with that shine glow. A captured beast fought against its jailer and was speared for the trouble.
Call it off, damn you! This is your Kraken! You brought it here! Send it back!
I'm sorry, what the heck is that? Is that his hat? I think that might be his hat. Oh, that's the captain. Interesting. An unholy creature's defiant shrieks were greeted with a fatal bullet.
What's this? Quicksilver.
Herre min Gud!
molten quicksilver? I thought quicksilver was liquid at room temperature. Yeah, he definitely burns to death. No one else was present. Solve. Obra done. Oh, I like that. That's hilarious. Hello? I'm sorry, what's that second book? No, that's not the end. There's still the shiny out in the middle of the ocean. Unless that's just to indicate, oh, they gave it back. But I mean, they showed that in the memory. I'm gonna sit through the credits again in case anything's changed. Nicely. 60 fate solved. Rewind back onto the ship. The book's bargain chapter will be reset, but no other progress will be lost. Oh, okay. Hmm. Okay, so the book is fully complete. Okay, no, I don't want to look over at that. That's probably how you trigger the credits. Okay, that's fully done. I'm gonna go ahead and update my notes. Okay, so Philip Dahl is 8-1. Burned to death. And then Martin Perro is 8-4. And he was spiked. And then I need to actually go back in order to... Okay, so... A siren shot Robert Whitterall.
Collect your things. We're okay. To that door. Gone. There's no time. We need to go. Right.
Also, Henry Evans had the pocket watch at this moment, or at least knew of its existence. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to have shot the monkey. Okay, that... Okay, these are both definitely sirens. Okay, so 2 sirens. Speared. And then 8-5 is monkey. Monkey. Shot. Gun. Edward. Oh no, Henry Evans. Henry Evans. Okay. Insert column to the left. Delete. Delete. No border, no border. And okay. Stowaway crushed cargo. And 2-3. Who's the butcher? You. Okay, so large cow. Oh, except I can't look at the fate list anymore. Hmm. Okay, bargain is gone. Okay, so that's locked off. Then what's with the shiny? Is that like... Is that just to indicate that it's back in the ocean? Because they said a third shell, but I only ever thought there was one shell. Hmm. Okay, screenshot. Where's my give? Okay, so... No, I'm not done. I am absolutely not done. There's still one hidden achievement left. There's still one achievement left. Hmm. Unless that's just a speedrun achievement. Although if it was a speedrun achievement, I doubt it would be a hidden achievement. Okay, any 6, Fates, 13 Fates. Abandon ship. Leave the ship without solving all available chapters. Obra done. Um. Okay, so apparently, so Obra done. Solve the entire book. 44.3% of players have this. Abandon ship. Leave the ship without solving all available chapters. 23.2% of players have this. What? What? I'm sorry? You're telling me that slightly over half of the people that have solved the entire game didn't even test to leave early. Okay. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Huh? Okay, chapter 1, chapter 2, 3, IV, V, VI, VII, 5, 6, 7, chapter 8. I did not get an achievement. I didn't get an achievement for fully clearing chapter 8? Was that because I finished chapter 8 at the same time that I hit the credits? Maybe it like overrode it? And
We should go. Storm's nearly about, so we won't be coming back. Finally. Sit down so you don't fall out.
interesting. I guess you get a high score of 29,285 pounds. That's the most money. Okay, it does say 1 year later.
Coming. Oh, goodness. Like this. You know, you shouldn't be out in it then. Right, well, get yourself out then.
Can you believe it? A package at this hour. Oh, the thing smells just dreadful. Don't open it inside. I'll be turning in now. Tea's in the kitchen if you need more.
There you are.
Oh, interesting.
Collect your things. We're okay. To that door.
Okay, so you can skip the dialogue here.
There's no time. We need to go. Right.
Okay, so he threw the monkey in, shot him, then pulled the monkey back out to cut off the paw. Or, I guess just kept the whole monkey and then sent me the paw. But this shows us that the pocket watch can send you really far across space as well as time. Because it can view deaths that happened over a year ago, and it can go from wherever we are in the mainland to somewhere off in the middle of the ocean. What are you up to? Nothing good.
A third shell. The captain didn't toss them all. Leave it. Help me lift it.
Wait. Alive in Africa? Interesting.
Let you free. Give it the shell. Do it. Hoist it out. To the main deck.
He was spiked. Shell. Give me the shell. Okay, let's see if solving this here before I leave triggers the achievement. No. Interesting. Okay, let's double check that I'm actually reading the achievements list properly. Because it's not in numerical order. 1, 2, 3. IV is 4. V is 5. VI 6. VII 7. IX is 9. X is 10. So IIX would be 8. Hmm. IIX. Okay, yep. Wait. What? I'm sorry? Loosely true in the eyes of company and crown, Captain did it. That's not chapter 8. IV X IX IIX. Why is this showing up when I search IIX? I'm looking at my Steam achievements right now. Because I have one achievement remaining. Okay, well, I mean, I already looked at the achievement. Captain did it. Loosely true in the eyes of company and crown. What the heck does that mean? Hmm. Loosely true in the eyes of company and crown. What did Captain do? He shot himself. No one else was present. Hmm. So how close to 100% are you? I have fully cleared the book. The only thing I have left is one hidden achievement, which I actually did look at the hidden achievement because I thought my game might be bugged. Because I don't have an achievement for Chapter 8 full clearing, and it just, I guess there isn't one of those in the Steam achievement list. Oh my goodness. Game. Thank you. Also, are you on a different account? No, that's same account. Interesting. Your name has a different color text. Normally, names don't have color. But if that's a thing for a recent update, that'll look cool. This game was made by the same dude who made Papers, Please. Yeah, that's been brought up before. But yeah, no, I've gone past and fully cleared that out. I copied my save file over here. So, I have fully cleared the book. So, the only things left is, it seems like there's some stuff with the shells, but also, in terms of Steam achievements, I am missing a single achievement. Specifically, the Captain Did It achievement. Loosely true in the eyes of company and crown. Hmm. Loosely true in the eyes of company and crown. Does it? Does it want me to? Because whenever I go into here,
We should go. Storm's nearly about, so we won't be coming back.
whenever I come into here, I get the overview paper, and the data that the data in the paper
Finally.
comes from
Sit down so you don't fall out.
what I write in the book. So, does it want me to put in a false account of what happened to the captain? Or maybe like a false account of the captain doing something to someone else. Criminal findings, murder of crewmate. 4. 4 accounts of murder of crewmate. Loosely true in the eyes of company and crown. This didn't happen. So... Okay, so if I go to my notes, if I search for R. Ritterall, William Hoscott was shot by the captain, and Lewis Walkner was clubbed by the captain. Wait, what? No, he killed 3 people. Of course, I have my data wrong. Okay, I'm gonna just close the game and reopen it to skip through that unskippable sequence. Okay, so continue. Yo, Access playing this. Stop! I don't like that notification. Okay, shot by Robert Ritterall. Actually, it's gonna be faster to just go to you. And then just go over here and look at the body directly. Okay, so 10-2. Oh, I'm stupid. I just misspelled something. Okay, so there was 3 people that got killed by the captain, but they labeled it as 4 accounts of it. Do they think he killed his wife? Maybe that's... Okay, so copy 2 to 1, because I can just rewind that, and then copy 3 to 2. Wait, no. What? Again, rewind. Oh my goodness. Okay. Abigail has got Witterall. Poisoned? This may or may not be correct. Okay, if they think that he killed her... then maybe clubbed by Robert Witterall? Or maybe they want me to put everyone as having been killed by Robert Witterell. Like, he just killed everyone on the boat. Okay, so... crew... or rather... I'll just go ahead and put in their names of everyone. So 1-1... Okay, so 1-1 is Samuel Peters. 1-2. 2-1, Solomon Sayed. 2-2 is Renfred Rahub. 3-1, Nunzio Pasqua. 8-Bang wait, no. Huh? 3-2 is Hoksang Lao. 3-3 is Timothy. 4-1 Li Hong. Huang Li? No, Li Hong. 2 is Patrick O'Hagan. Samuel Gilligan. Bun Lan Li. Bang Xia. Edward Nichols. Alesky Toporov. Alarkus Nikishim. 5-1 is Chao Tan. 5-1B. Hamao Diom. Thomas Sefton. William Wasim. John Naples. Six one is Huang Li. Edward Spratt. Abraham Akbar. Christian Wolf. George Shirley. Roderick Anderson. Fuck. Okay, so 6-2. Oh, I started reading off of the chapter 7 list. Nicholas Botterill. Marcus Gibbs. James Wallace. Jai Zhang. Charles Hirschtick. Emil O'Farrell. Zungi Sathi. Winston Smith. Fuck. Okay, who was James Wallace? James Wallace was 6-4A. Okay, chapter 7. Lars Linde. Edward Sprott. Abraham Akbar. Christian Wolf. George Shirley. Roderick Anderson. Peter Milroy. Maba. Abigail. Omid Gull. Nathan Peters. Duncan McKay. Wei Lee. Finley Dalton. Charles Minor. No, this is Charles Minor. Okay, so you want Ahmed Goal, Nathan Peters, Alexander Booth. Alexander Booth into Duncan McKay. Into Wei Lee. Into Finley Dalton. Into Charles Minor. Bargain can't be done. Escape. 9-1 is Alfred Questel. Paul Moss. Leonid Volkov. Ola Sweiter. John Davies. Thomas Lonke. Emily Jackson. Jane Bird. David James. And then Henry Evans. Captain Henry. Lewis. Robert. Oh no, wait, this one's the captain. William. Okay. Quit the title. Okay. Okay, copy 2 to 3. Just so I have all of the names inputted on my blank file. Okay, so... Oh, I was already there. Chapter 10. William Hoscott. Shot. By Robert Witterell. And Henry was knifed by Robert Witterell. This guy was clubbed by Robert Woodrow. Huh? What? Oh. Oh, I was wrong. I thought that fates were verified in sets of three that were predetermined. So like three specific characters were grouped together. No, it's just every three correct, it verifies it. Interesting. That actually would reduce the number of combinations by magnitudes. Okay, I'm gonna put clubbed by Robert Woodrow to see what happened, because they put him down for 4 accounts of murder, and there's 4 corpses near him. So maybe they thought he killed his wife.
All done? We should go. Storm's nearly about, so we won't be coming back. If you've still business here, climb up and finish it. Else I'll make to port. Finally. Sit down so you don't fall out.
Yo, how's it going? I am currently looking for the last thing. I have 15 out of 16 achievements, and I have fully cleared the book. Interestingly enough, there is no achievement for fully clearing Chapter 8, which I thought that's what the last hidden achievement was going to be, but it wasn't. Wait. Murder of crewmate 5. Oh, I guess they're counting himself. Okay. Because you got all fates done? Yes. On a file with all the proper fates, this says murder of crewmate 4. I thought that meant they assumed he killed his wife because there was 4 bodies near him. But I think they're just including himself. Also, it looks like the claims isn't dependent on... Is suicide considered a murder? I guess? Actually, that's a good point. Let's see what happens if I remove the... If I just, like, have nothing filled in. Does it still consider him to have... No fate solved. So copy 3 to 2. If I have no fates filled in, let's see if it still considers him to have killed somebody. But yeah, interestingly, even if I don't have stuff filled in, it looks like the claims are still there. I thought that was a pseudo high score system based on how well you were doing.
So we won't be coming back. If you've still business here, climb up and finish it. Else I'll make to port. Finally. Sit down so you don't fall out.
How hard was the bosun's mate to figure out? Bosun's mate. The bosun's mate I actually figured out relatively early on, about like partway through, because that guy is just constantly around the bosun. But like I didn't know for certain. I'm just like, this guy has a somewhat unique uniform and is constantly by the bosun, so he's probably the mate. But I didn't get confirmation until like something I got others. It really messed my brain out. Except estate awarded. Oh. £29,505. That's higher than putting everything in accurately. I wonder what the highest value you can get here is. The one that took me the longest, and that was the trickiest, was John? Yeah, John Naples. Torn apart by Mr. Dahl. Because I thought he got torn apart by a beast, but no, Dahl cut his leg off because of the quote-unquote curse. The brothers? No. The brothers was easy. The only hard part about the brothers was finding the location in which... Wait. John Naples? No. The brothers is the Peters. Nathan and Samuel Peters. But yeah, the achievement that I'm currently trying to figure out is the last hidden achievement, which I did end up reading because I was missing a chapter 8, like full clear, solve all fates in chapter 8. Turns out there just isn't an achievement for full clearing chapter 8. But the last hidden achievement is Captain Did It. Loosely true in the eyes of company and crown. Yeah, don't tell me how to do it. No, I don't want any help. I will be sure to ask if I want help. And by ask, I mean I will make sure you understand that I'm asking. It will be very explicit and very obvious. I know you should. Yeah, that's good. I hope that becomes a common thing that people catch on to. Loosely true in the eyes of company and crown. Well, I suppose technically I can just list everyone as being killed by the captain, and nobody can stop me. So that will give him... That should give him 60 accounts of murder. And I guess it's loosely true in the sense that everyone died on the boat, and he was the captain of the boat. Although there is no generic killed. There's just killed by sword. Which I think that's interesting that that is phrased in that way. Like, I would have just had it, like, stabbed, and then have a little arrow thing, and then, like, choose between sword and knife. But I'm just going to do axed because that's the first thing, so it's fastest to click. Although if they want me, assuming this is even the thing, if they want me to do a very specific fate by the captain, that's going to be more interesting. Because axed, burns, club, crushed. I guess drowned maybe because the ship went down. Eaten, fell overboard. Yeah. Illness. Shot. Struck. Suicide. Torn apart. Because Captain did it makes me think that I need to accuse the captain of having done something that the company and the crown might believe him to have done. The only thing that I can think of being like an actual legit thing is either loosely true, the captain killed everyone by bringing them on the boat, or maybe they think that the captain killed his wife because her corpse is next to him. I do not expect this to actually work, but I want to see what happens if I give a single person a murder count of 60. Actually, no. It's going to be a murder count of 58 because there's 2 people that I can't give a fate to. Another thing that's interesting to me, one, apparently there's 3 shells, which I only ever counted 1 shell, so that's interesting. And then also there's the shell out there. I don't know if that means, if that's just supposed to indicate that the shell made it back to the ocean, or if that's supposed to mean that, like, oh hey, there's more to do with the shell plotline. But that could just be an indicator of, like, that's the end of its story. It made it back to the ocean. This is going to take a little bit of time. Although I'm already to chapter 6, so not too long. It's definitely going to take less time to go through and click the first option in the list, as opposed to going through and actually making sure I put the right names for everybody. Although, I'm not sure what the... Because Captain Did It is a hidden achievement. So, unless the developer just expects the players to reveal the hidden achievements, there has to be some in-game hint as to its existence. Unless that's just an achievement for people doing funny haha, let me just put in the wrong information and see what happens. Also, one thing that I learned recently, as in like within the last half hour, is the information is confirmed in sets of 3, which the game already says. I always thought it was confirmed in sets of like 3 specific people are grouped together, and you have to get all 3 of those for that group to be verified. No, it's actually just if you have any 3 correct, the game will confirm it. Next, Captain. Oh my goodness, I'm scrolling up too fast. And by scrolling, I mean moving the mouse. Luckily, bargain doesn't exist yet. X. Captain. You know, in retrospect, I should have just did this. I should have just clicked clubbed, because then I can just double tap. Actually, no, I couldn't do that, because if I was on the wrong spot... actually, no. If it's set to unknown, and I double tap, it goes directly to clubbed. So yeah, that would have been faster. Aww. Okay. I can't say he killed himself with an axe. Okay. This I do not I fully expect this to do nothing. But I want to
All done?
test it to see what if anything does happen. Maybe different text or something.
If you've still business here, climb up and finish it. Else I'll make to port.
Also, fun fact. 44.3% of players have the achievement for fully clearing the book. 23.2% of players have the achievement for leaving the ship without fully clearing the book. Or rather, they have the achievement for leaving the ship without full clearing, without the bargain. So, a little under half of the people that fully cleared the game just stayed on the ship the entire time until they finished it. What? Oh, that's hilarious. That's actually what it wanted? Criminal findings, murder of crewmate 57. Wait. I was not expecting that to work. But 57. There were 60 people on the list. There's 2 people that I couldn't do, so that dropped it down to 58. Maybe the suicide doesn't count? Interesting. Okay, well, my second instinct was correct. Although, that feels more like a meme achievement that, like, I don't see why there would be an, like, if there would be an in-game way to guess that, other than, like, it actually tracks the number. And if you wanted to be like, funny, haha, number go up. Okay. I declare this matter closed in its entirety. The captain murdered everyone. Hey, Zeus, if you're still here, was Captain Did It for saying that the captain killed everyone? Or was Captain Did It for saying that the captain killed, like, a specific person?
Oh, goodness. What a nice thing. You know, you shouldn't be out in it.
Because if it was just a specific person, then you would just get it by proxy of choosing everyone.
Tell Father I said hello.
Can you believe a letter at this hour? Must be important. I'll be turning in now. Tea's all gone, so you might think about going to bed as well.
Unfortunate news, the Dr. Evans has passed away. Generally poor in such an incomplete state. Remark. Okay. Okay, nothing fancy from here. I do believe that is everything. The shell shining in the ocean could be a thing. Copy 1 to 2. The shell shining off in the ocean could be a thing, but I imagine that's just, like, a visual representation of, yes, it made it back to the ocean where it belongs. But I think that's everything. I got all of the fates, I got all of the Steam achievements, and there doesn't, aside from, like, crew relations and lore, there does not seem to be any more gameplay stuff. I think that's... Yeah, I think that's everything. The tale is now finished. That was a very, very fun game. Although, I do find it interesting that there's no achievement for fully clearing Chapter 8. Okay, and perfect timing. Well, I mean, 26 minutes until I normally get off, but I don't particularly feel like swapping to a different game at the moment. I'm not going to have enough time to, like, fully spin up into game mode. So I think I'm going to call it there. Thank you all for watching, and now I need to think about what to include in the poll for the next game. Farewell. I hope you have good days.